When a crisis hits, every instinct tells you to do something, say something, fix something. You've got to react. But here's what I've learned and what I tell every leader I work with. When you find yourself in a crisis, the best thing to do most often is nothing, or at least nothing public and certainly not right away. You see, the problem isn't the crisis itself. The problem is how big it feels when you're standing in the middle of it. My first week as communications director in the governor's office, a colleague burst into my office and said, "We have a big problem." I had one question. What is a big problem? Help me define that. I was brand new. His answer, well, we've had over 100 phone calls on this one issue in the last hour. Now, 100 phone calls may seem like a lot. It sure did to him. And in a state of 3 million people, that's about 0.003% of the total population. So maybe it's not that big of a deal. And those calls almost certainly didn't come from 100 different people arriving at the same concern independently and organically. They were organized, they were one group, they were one message, and it was just one afternoon. We took a pause and we decided not to respond. No press, no statement, nothing. And guess what? Nothing ever came of it. Because here's what most leaders forget. Overreacting to a problem doubles the problem. When you respond to something that isn't a story, you make it a story. Your reaction then becomes part of, if not the headline. Before you act, you have to find true perspective. Not the view from inside the storm, but the view from outside it. How many people actually care about this? Is this organic or is it organized? What happens if you just do nothing? And to be clear, this isn't about never responding. It's measure twice and cut once. You can always respond after you've taken time to understand what you're actually dealing with. The pause is a tool. It's not a surrender. That's why the best advisors often aren't people who are inside your organization. They're people who can walk in from the outside and tell you how big this actually is, or in many cases, how big it isn't. You can't always see clearly when you're standing in the middle of it. When someone walks into your office and says, "We have a big problem," the most powerful thing you can do is slow down long enough to find out if it actually is one. That pause, that stillness, is not weakness, it's strategy.